So last week, you might have seen there were some images going around, allegedly of the Switch 2. We had, little like 3D model CAD kind of stuff, and then a couple like actual photos of some of the real hardware. And I, not an expert, for one, did and do believe that the leaks are legit. It just seems too legit, like we've had a lot of fakes over the years. It's fairly easy now, especially to just kind of like 3D print something, cobble something together, take a blurry photo, and that's it. But these ones they featured multiple images of Joy-Cons that match perfectly to the whole like magnetic suction system thing that was kind of talked about some time back. That was like one of the first really solid ideas that we had about what the Switch 2 would be like, and this is like, it completely confirms that. But then most importantly, it was a picture of the inside of the console. This was either an old prototype or just one that's been all busted up during, manufacturing. If they're making these things now, someone took it apart, and there it was. It looked really convincing. I believe that it was real, and now actual professionals are claiming that, yes, it probably is real. You want to talk about real professionals? This is all coming from the dudes at Digital Foundry. I love all those guys. They're all really cool, and I always really trust their stuff. They really know what they're talking about. And so they talked a little bit about this on their channel and then in a follow-up interview with IGN. And they're basically claiming, it basically has to be real. Almost certainly real. That's the quote right there. It said, it can be determined that the leak last week is genuine, or at least as accurate as an old prototype dating from October 2023 can be. And they talked a little bit about all the other features and specs and things like that. Obviously go check out their whole video on this whole topic for more details. But more on these leaks, Rich says, it's right to have a degree of skepticism about this leak because there's nothing to stop someone 3D printing up a fake casing. However, faking a convincing motherboard would require a degree of technical knowledge that I'd put beyond even the most elaborate hoax. It would be easier simply not to fake a board at all and to make the printed components look a lot more genuine. So again, it's really that shot of the inside. Yeah, the motherboard, that's the thing. That's the word that I should have known. It's the motherboard, and it doesn't have all of the components plugged into it necessarily, but you can see all the spots where they go, and it really does look genuine, and you're hearing it right there from the mouth of an actual expert. That kind of thing is very hard to fake. You would have to have a very, very high degree of technical know-how to know how to create a fake motherboard for a Nintendo Switch 2. Something that anyone can look at and just be like, yeah, that looks totally legit. Even the guys at Digital Foundry are looking at it and just being like, yeah, I mean, that's it's gotta be. Then additionally, it's the fact that a lot of these components and design and specs are lining up with previous leaks very, very well. They go on to say, then there's the fact that everything shown on that board is a match for the latest and most accurate leaks based on Taiwan shipping manifests accumulated by the ardent sleuths on the Famaboards forum. So yeah, it's just that like we have been getting leaks and reports and rumors and all this stuff for quite a while now, and a lot of them have been very consistent. There have been like little odd things here and there that kind of just like get thrown into the mix, but I feel like they get filtered out pretty quick. But there are a number of pretty solid reports that we've been getting, and they've been consistent. And so now this one is consistent with all of the ones that have been consistent. Technically, could this still be an elaborate hoax? Could it just be the most elaborate fake console hoax of all time, an ongoing multi-month, even multi-year project of faking these really specific ideas and really specific specs and having and like planting this fake knowledge and having people corroborate it and then like coming back later with images that yeah. technically, it's technically possible that there is someone who just does have that technical know-how, and they were able to design design and create a really convincing Switch 2 motherboard. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. It's all but confirmed now. We're looking at 99.9% here. These images are the Switch 2. These Joy-Cons are the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. These Joy-Cons, they slot in from the side, and they stick in that way instead of sliding. This thing is this size. This screen is this size. Yeah. That's pretty much that. And again, I have to say again, it is so weird. It's very weird. This is a first. There's always leaks, quote unquote. There's always these fake images. And like, sure, we've gotten accurate leaks from other companies' hardware, but man, I don't know if there has ever been, to my knowledge at least since I have been paying attention to this stuff, which has been a good amount of time, we've not really gotten real, genuine images of the system itself leaked before Nintendo could do the job of revealing the system themselves. And it's a bit of a bummer. Again, I'll say it's surprising it took this long, but like, yeah, it happened. And if it's true this is the first time, then I can imagine the people at Nintendo are not happy. They are probably not happy at all. But like, what are you gonna do? You've got these factories, probably with like thousands of employees, and all it takes is one person. All it takes is one person. They're spending all day with this stuff, putting this stuff together. Snap a couple pictures, put it online. Just like, who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? How are you gonna plug that leak? How are you gonna find the one person? There may be multiple people. It seemed completely inevitable. How do you keep secrets in this digital age? Ooh, before we wrap up, that's the thing, getting this info from lots of different sources. There's little tidbits you gotta find here and there. On VGC, they had a person tell them that they have not seen the Switch 2 console itself, but they have been briefed on Nintendo's plans for the Switch 2, and they say that the images leaked pretty much match what they have heard. Like, even though Nintendo hasn't revealed the system to partners, to other developers and publishers yet, they have described its design, and apparently that description matches these images. So there you go. There's another log for the fire there. Another little bit of not quite confirmation, but very compelling evidence that the leak be real. And yeah, Nintendo, at this point, like, if they did plan on waiting longer to reveal it, maybe they didn't plan on revealing it till later this year or next year or whatever. I don't know, like, the longer they wait, the more this stuff is gonna come out. I mean, at the same time, are we satisfied now? You know, like, we've seen it. The images went up, they did the rounds. Like, do we need more? Is more gonna, like, blow up quite like this? I mean, it probably will. It's probably inevitable. So if that's true, then like, yeah, like how long does Nintendo want to let this go on? How many more leaks does there need to be before Nintendo just starts to look silly, you know? Like, the longer they wait and the more leaks that there are, then when they do reveal the thing, like there's no thunder anymore. There's no hype, big crazy reveal. And then it's just kind of like, yeah, we know. We've known about this for 3 months, you know? So, I don't know. Ball's in Nintendo's court. Are they going to head this off, or are they going to just stick to whatever plan they've got? I don't know, but we know what the Switch 2 is now. We already do. We're kind of just sitting here waiting for the official confirmation. At the same time, though, Nintendo's going to be like, here's the Switch 2, and we're like, yawn, old news, we know. And then they're going to be like, yeah, but here's the new Mario, and then our heads are going to explode, and yeah.